just exploring around in downtown Cape Coral, Florida, where I reside. Do you ever walk around the town that you grew up, that you were, raised in, and you didn't notice over the years, up until you're an adult, how much things have changed? How's it going, old schoolers? You're kicking it old school with Russell J.S, and I am your host, Russell J.S. Happy New Year to you all, and I hope your holidays were great. As you can see right here in downtown Cape Coral, if you take a look around, they still got some of the holiday decor. Well, yeah, you see those holiday Christmas gators right there. They still have got the Christmas decor up. Right now, I'm just walking over in the downtown section of the town I grew up in, Cape Coral, Florida, where I actually moved almost 40 years ago with my mom and dad from New Jersey. Now you take a look at this main stretch of road. Would you believe that this was once a landing strip for airplanes? It was. When the town was founded somewhere in the late 50s, early 1960s, and they were starting to develop housing and everything like that, this was how they brought people to see their properties. I mean, look at that building. Tell me that does not scream 1962 right there. I mean, heck, that place right there, that Custom Burgers place, that was one out of many video stores I had a membership at over the years. Yeah, video stores, remember those? And business got so good for them that they went ahead and moved over in this space where this furniture store is. Tropical Furniture and Gallery. And I am inviting you to come with me and let's check this bad Oscar out, shall we? Let's go ahead and walk through this tunnel area right here. Ooh, spooky tunnel. Getting tunnel vision. Walking around in the tunnel. And also, as a tribute to Adam the Woo, I've got a piping hot caffeinated beverage. In the car, I have a canned, chilled, carbonated, caffeinated beverage, which if I don't get to it soon, it's gonna be warm, but either way, it's still gonna taste good. And it's Zero Sugar Monster, my favorite. But yeah, this shopping center that we're walking through is called Big John's Shopping Center to us locals. Reason being is there used to be a mom and pop grocery store just several doors down called Big John's Groceries. And for years, they had the iconic Big John. He used to stand right over where that placard is. Let's go take a look. And of course, that place you see that says Bar Runch took Video Etc's business away when a Blockbuster Video opened. But right here is where Big John once stood. This little placard here. Yes, Big John's Foodway. Yes, I guess it wasn't a mom and pop grocery store, but Big John used to reside here. He'd be a big tall guy with a bag of groceries in each arm. And let's see. Yeah, you are happy to be back at your station, even happier that the bags are back. You missed them. But where are you, Big John? Where are you? Where are you, Big John? You know, and Big John was a big icon here in this shopping center. And there's that little strip mall where there used to be a comic book store. I used to buy my comics. Yeah, it's weird when things change in your hometown. It is really strange. Yeah, it is kind of, I can't believe, oh, I gotta wait for these people on the bikes before I pull out of here. It's like, come on, bicycle people, come on, come on. There we go. Yes, I know, Pack the Man. It is disheartening that Big John is no longer with us. But, like you could see a lot of these buildings, you see the, architectural design where these buildings are mostly over 60 years old, possibly 70 something years old. But yeah, like things do change. I can remember over here in this corner where this construction company office is, every Halloween they used to use that as the downtown haunted house, which was one out of quite a few haunted houses that temporarily would reside for the Halloween season. And look, my other homage to Adam the Woo, I got a Big the Foot, but unlike Adam's, his is carrying a 6-pack. Is that root beer that he's carrying? I don't know. And you can see remnants of what used to be old service stations is now a pool supply place. There's where that Winn-Dixie used to be one out of 2 Publix stores that used to be here in town. Now, Publix is so big, you can't get away from Publix if you wanted to. But then again, Publix is also probably one of the greatest grocery shopping experiences you could have in Florida. Yeah, I got to keep my eye on the road as I drive, We don't want no accidents. That service station right there used to be a Texaco. I thought even in 2015 it would still be Texaco, and then it became George's Texaco in Service Center. Now it's just George's Complete Auto Repair. I thought, by 2015 you'd see a car up there with a robotic voice going, you could trust your car with the service with a star at Texaco. A little Back to the Future Part 2 reference there. And look at this, you got old apartment buildings and new apartment buildings. Yeah, things certainly change here. I remember where all these condos are, or townhouses, whatever you want to call them. That used to be an open field. These condos have been here forever. A lot of these places have been. But yeah, a lot of the times, you go in this area, in the beginning when houses were complete and streets were developed, they used to auction off these new built houses on game shows in Hollywood. So people, they moved to Florida just by winning on a game show. I think it was Price is Right. I'm not sure. But yeah, look at that. You got old houses and new houses. Whoa. Crazy guy on a Harley. That's right. I'm the Terminator. I'm the old elderly Terminator. I'm not old. I'm obsolete. That's right. I'm obsolete. Hasta la vista, baby. Yeah, a lot of activity going on today. Well, it is Saturday morning. And the weather is just perfect here in Cape Coral, Florida. Isn't that right, Pack the Man and Bigfoot? They're just hanging out. But look at that, you know, they're hanging out. They're buddies. Big the foot and pack the man. I want to go ahead and do that homage to Adam. I mean, it's been almost 2 weeks, and it's really sad he's gone. But I'm sure a lot of us vloggers, we're going to continue on his journey in our own way. Well, here we are at the Cape Coral Yacht Club, or what used to be the Cape Coral Yacht Club. They officially tore down the Boathouse restaurant over by the pier, and what's left of the pier still remains. All those, what do you call it? All them bases where, you know, the pier sits on. And that was a big time fishing pier there for years. And they still haven't done any work. It's been quite some time since the hurricanes had hit us, and they hit us really good. But they still haven't come back to rebuild this place. It's really sad, because this was a hub for a lot of activity for the people in the city of Cape Coral. You know, we got, as you can see, you got a beach over there, and you know, you got this big circle of shrubbery and trees. Right here used to be a banquet hall where you held weddings and bar mitzvahs and everything else in between. And right here on this grassy knoll, you gotta make believe you're walking through the banquet hall right now. Right where that stick is standing out in the ground, there used to be a big Olympic-sized swimming pool we used to go to all the time, the community pool. It was like, when I was a kid, it was like $1 for a kid, and it was $3 for adults. And it's amazing how they covered up. You wouldn't think it was here. It was erased from existence. And there's no boats no longer tied up to any of the docks. Yeah, they got a lot of work ahead of them to make this place better than what it was. And right where that mobile restroom center is, there used to be a pavilion where, again, people could have birthday parties and wedding receptions and banquets, whatever have you. They tore it down, and it used to also reside the other haunted house, the main one. But yeah, you know, you could see people would dock their boats here. And one thing about Cape Coral, there's a lot of canals that go out to the Caloosahatchee, which would in turn go out to the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America now. And, you know, lots of place for activity. Very windy out, too. Here we are, we just walked from Road Trip toward the entryway of the Cape Coral Yacht Club. There's yet another dock right there where if you had a trailer with a boat, you could push the trailer right there in the water to get your boat in. Oh, and one more little homage to Adam the Woo, if you all don't mind. Are those petunias? Yeah, but that's all that is here of Cape Coral Yacht Club. Before we go, I'll go ahead and show you the canals where a lot of these houses are on. They got boats, people have boats, and sometimes I think they have some kind of boat-like taxi service, where if you want to go to any of the restaurants in the Lee County area that's on the river, you could call them up, and they'll come pick you up from your dock in the backyard, and they'll take you over to the restaurant, and then you can call them again, and they'll come back and they'll bring you right back to your house. I don't know, if they don't, then hey, anybody in Cape Coral who owns any kind of big boat, there's $1 million idea right there. But But yeah, there's some of the houses there, right there on the canal. And there's the Caloosahatchee River that runs from Lake Okeechobee all the way through here into what's now the Gulf of America. Yeah, it is sad that they're not, you know, they're procrastinating on rebuilding the banquet hall, maybe put another pool in there. Because I'll tell you what, a lot of good memories, a lot of good times through childhood, through youth. And as a matter of fact, I took you to this place a year ago in April when I got laid off from my job of 6 years. Remember where I talked about life and everything? Oh, and like I said, a chilled, canned, carbonated, caffeinated beverage that I'm about to crack open this bad Oscar. And before I continue on with the video, I also want to remind you, if you're new to the channel, hit a like, subscribe, leave comments in the box down below, ring the bell for notifications, and tell all your friends, tell all your loved ones and everybody about this channel. Help us build it up. And I do appreciate all of you who are subscribed, all 175 of you. I take it in. And here's to you, and here's to Adam the Woo. I take it in, it makes me, I feel good about it. At any rate, we're about to depart, so hold on to your algorithms as we depart here. Yeah, a guy fishing on the little dock there. Yeah, this is not a bad community to live in. I mean, when I moved out here when I was 7 years old with my folks, this town had a population of 75,000 people. Now we're up to over 200,000 people. I mean, I'll have to do another video sometime where my father took me back years ago to the north section where all there was gravel roads and vacant lots with 6-foot tall weeds. Again, let me go ahead and focus. Don't want to run over the doggy or the man. Now leaving the yacht club. But yeah, if you're in the Florida area and you're looking to maybe start a new life, you're looking, to go out and have some fun, Cape Coral has got plethora of to-do. I mean, we have a water park that's open in the summer, starts opening in the spring, goes through the spring and summer months, and then they shut down completely in the fall. And there's some community pools, and there's, you could go right over the bridge to Fort Myers, and there's all sorts of goodness over there to go to. But, this is one of my favorite spots in town to go to, when I want to relax, like contemplate life, what's going to happen, I don't know what's going to happen, heck, I don't even know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, let alone the next day. It's funny, people will ask me on a Friday, hey, Russell, what you doing on this weekend? And I just say, sheesh, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing in the next 5 minutes, let alone the weekend. But yeah, as you can see, look at all these old houses that pretty much scream 1960s and 70s, along with these bigger, newer houses. I mean, I remember a lot of these houses being built. There's some houses I remember coming out here as a kid with my folks. They were being built in the 80s. A lot of them scream 1980s. A lot of them scream 1990s. But yeah, it's an okay town. I mean, it was pretty boring when I was a kid. But, the only thing you think of as a kid, living in a town like this isn't your average run-of-the-mill postcard town. at the time when people were moving down here, like in the 60s and 70s, it was, you know, they came here to retire. They came here to start a new life. Oh, classic car alert right there. Homage to Adam the Woo. But they, you know, they came out here to start a new life. You know, a lot of them retired, and they lived here for many years until it was their time. And, you know, that was that. And I can remember as a kid, you know, like on Saturdays, we would all ride bikes and skateboards and roller skate, play catch in the street, and all the grouchy old men would come out and yell at us. And when they were building new houses, we used to go, you know, when the construction workers weren't there on Saturday and Sunday, we used to go exploring. I knew a kid who snagged the boombox out of the cabinet that belonged to one of the construction workers. But yeah, not a bad place to live at all. You know, when I think about it. Good old Coronado Parkway. Still a lot of old places to see. Old apartment complexes. They're starting to tear down a lot of these places and make way for new places. Because, you know, we used to say back in the late 1990s when I was a teenager, and there's the Art Center Park, which used to be the original public library. We used to say Cape Coral, us kids, we were bored with this town. We used to say Cape Coral is the home of the nearly dead. And since the early 2000s, it's become home of the nearly dead and the newlywed. And of course, we got a lot of famous people to come out of Cape Coral. If you ever heard of a band called Twisted Method, they're from right here. And oh, look, another classic Volkswagen van. And some Harleys, too. But also, if you're a fan of Godsmack, drummer Shannon Larkin lives in this town. It's his permanent residence. And also, Sully, the frontman, he's become a resident here as well. And also Mike Greenwell, and that house right there, that one with the glass garage door right there, I've had my eye on that place since I was 7. It's my favorite house to look at every time I go down this road, and it has been for 40 years. But yeah, if you're a Godsmack fan, you know who Shannon Larkin is, you know who Sully is. And they live here. And who else? I know there's a lot of people. I mean, Mike Greenwell, who was a baseball player for the Boston Red Sox. He was also our county commissioner. He just passed away recently from cancer. He still, you know, he had a place, I think he had a place here for a while, and then he moved out to Lehigh Acres, Florida. But yeah, you should make your way out here. But at any rate, that's gonna do it for this video. And remember, if you're new to the channel, you know what to do. And always remember, keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it chill. Keep kicking it old school, listen to old school music, watch old school movies and TV shows, play old school video games, and, you know, get you enough of love, get you enough of peace, get you enough of tranquility, get you enough of less chaos, no chaos, less drama, no drama. Godspeed. May the force be with you always, and shuckalaka kapow. Let me say that one more time because I forgot to do it in the video. Shuckalaka kapow. And come visit Cape Coral. We're on the main drag at Del Prado, which used to be a dirt road with just, you know, your average stores where you bought things. Now look at it. And you know what? Tell me about the hometown you grew up in and how much you never noticed how much it changed. I want to know. Da 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 da. My hometown. As Adam the Woo would finish, the vlog is over.